Welcome to the Golf Kingdom, and I have a special show for you. It's a best of. I've gone back over the last 10 shows and looked at some of the best stuff we've done, the most fun clips, whether it's Build It, pop culture, it's just hot air, fitness. I've put them all together in this one show for you. Sit back, relax, and enjoy our best of the Golf Kingdom to help your game. Are you ready? Because it's time to build, and it's the best of.
The Golf Kingdom, brought to you by Essentia Insurance, TaylorMade, and Executive Air Conditioning.
Welcome back to the Golf Kingdom. Thanks for joining us tonight. And it's time for another Build It segment. And tonight I'm going to help you build a better putting stroke, and specifically a more accurate putting stroke. I'm going to tell you a little story about what I had to do as a kid growing up in St. Louis before I was a tour player. Now we get those snowy days in St. Louis, or maybe those days where I had some homework and I couldn't get to the golf course to practice. Now my dad and I would have putting contests in the house, and we would putt to the legs of tables and chairs, really tiny targets. It would make a putting cup look really, really big. Then when I got to the golf course to play, boy, I had this small target I was used to putting at, and the cup looked gigantic. I've got my Bunyan drill to help you build a more accurate putting stroke. Now let me build here. I got to grab the hard hat, so I'm safe here as we're building the Bunyan drill. Here's how the Bunyan drill works. And Daredevil, I want to go to the low shot here. Take us down low. You can see I've got three different kinds of batteries here. I've got a C battery, in the middle is the AA, and on the end is the very, very skinny AAA battery. What you're going to do at home is you're going to get a club length away with a golf ball from the C battery. So let's start bigger. Let's start with C and get a couple golf balls. And what you want to do, like Paul Bunyan, is you want to start chopping these batteries down. So here we go, C battery, boom, got it on the first try. When I can consistently hit the C battery, then I'm going to switch over. I'm going to switch over to the AA battery. Boy, that looks pretty small as I look down at it. A club length away is where I want to be. I'm going to get set up. I want to really try to aim this good. I'm going to try to mow down the AA battery. Bang, right in the middle. So I got the AA battery. It's down. Okay, now for the super duper challenge. I'm going AAA battery. That looks like a toothpick stuck in the ground here. I got to readjust my hard hat here. So I'm ready to build, ready to get it right. I'm going to aim it good. I'm going to get set up. I'm looking at that AAA battery. It looks tiny. See if I can mow it down on the first try. Got it. Boom. Tell you what, if you can hit that AAA battery, you can make any putt anywhere. This will tighten down how you aim the putter. It'll give you an incredible amount of confidence to get set up and know that you can hit something as tiny as a AAA battery. And the great thing is, you can do this at home. You don't have to be at the golf course. The challenge right now in our busy world is trying to get time to practice on our game. The Bunyan drill, it's a great drill to help you continue to build your game. Practice it at home and go make more putts on the golf course. Now, let's kind of shift gears here. Pop culture tonight. We're going to talk about something to help your short game. And tonight's theme is Star Wars. So I don't need my tool belt, don't need my hard hat. Let's put those out of the way here. I'm going to grab a club I'd normally chip with. I'm going to grab my pitching wedge here. Here's what I see in short game that everybody struggles with, and it's setup. Now, I want a show of hands out there of those of you that actually have had a short game lesson, an hour short game lesson. Raise your hands. Yeah, not many hands are going up. I know it because I see it at the academy. I have lots of players that want a short game lesson, and we walk over to the practice green, and there's golf balls everywhere. Well, wait a second. There's a flag here and a flag here. Shouldn't all the golf balls be right around those two flags, clustered right there, not scattered across the green and not across into the rough and in the woods? Well, that's because you haven't had a short game lesson and you haven't learned how to set up properly. And this is where the Obi-Wan drill is going to help you a bunch. Now, here's everything everybody knows about short game. And those of you who didn't raise your hand, this is exactly what you know about short game. I've got my pitching wedge. If I set up to hit a full shot, my pitching wedge setup looks like this. I'm tilted in here, the shoulder's down, my hands are forward, my stance is wide. But wait a second. You've watched people chip, and you know the tour players, we chip with our feet close together. So you take your normal setup, and just move your feet close together, and you look like this. You're tilted in here, right shoulder down, left shoulder up, left arm really firm and strong. Now watch me. I'm going to move into the correct chipping position from here. Look at the changes going on. My hips level out, my shoulders level out. Look at my left arm, my lead arm. It's not bent. It's not straight, it's bent is what I meant to say. I want this relaxed. Here's the Obi-Wan drill to help you. Now, if you've seen Star Wars, you know Obi-Wan gets killed by Darth Vader. And he raises his lightsaber and Darth Vader whacks him, and all of a sudden he disappears. That's a whole nother story. We won't get into that. But the Obi-Wan drill will help you get that set up. So here's what you do. You take the club, you raise it into the Obi-Wan position right in front of you. If you have a hat or visor on, touch it to the bill of your cap. Now from here, you're going to lean your weight onto your front leg a little bit, and then you're going to bend about 45 degrees. And then in this position, you're just going to unfold your elbows till the club touches the ground, and then put your feet close together. It'll keep your hips more level, it'll keep your shoulders level, and it'll keep a little flex in the lead arm. So from the side, the Obi-Wan drill looks like this. I touch it to the bill of my cap, I lean on my front foot, I bend a little, I unfold my arms, I don't straighten them, I don't get tense, I stay relaxed. That's what you want to do. The Obi-Wan drill. We went Star Wars tonight to help your game. Remember, setup, we want to be relaxed here. Chipping's a relaxed thing. We don't want to be stiff. Feet close together, hips and shoulders level. Now the club can move more up and down, and you can brush the grass and hit nice, crisp chip shots. Star Wars, who knew that Obi-Wan Kenobi could make you a Jedi Master around the green? Practice that drill, and I bet you hit a lot more chip shots and save a lot more pars. You can see I've added a little something to my golf costume here. I've got the K-Coach 3D motion analysis sensors on. I've got one on my back, one on my pelvis, one on my lead arm, one on my wrist. It's measuring body movements. As you watch the avatar on the screen, you see me moving all over the place. Let me explain a common error that this system picks up when we use it at my academy. It picks up players moving their shoulders too flat. So here's what happens is when we bend over to hit a golf ball, we're inclined towards the ground, and we don't like that. We always orient ourselves in life to the horizon. We always like to be horizontal, looking at a horizon that's flat in front of us. We don't like bending over and bringing our horizon down here. When we swing a golf club, what happens is we swing back and our shoulders flatten and we stand up. If you're a stander-upper, chances are your shoulders are turning too flat as you go back, just like this. Now, the K-Coach, it's measuring this, and it'll create a tone when I do it right. So Daredevil, let's go to the full screen of the K-Coach system. I'm going to bend over here, and you're going to see some green bars and some little handles. I'm trying to turn back. Hear the tone? I just did a rep. Boom. See, the bars went right into the green segments there. I'll make an adjustment here. Got it. There's two in a row. One more. I'm turning my shoulders steep. Bang, nailed it right on the first try again. Now, here's a wrong move. Watch, I'll totally miss. Look at, see how my shoulders are flat and that red bar is way high of that green spot I'm trying to hit. Let me bend my shoulders down. Bang, I nailed it. Now, let me demonstrate that on the big camera. Daredevil, come back to me now. So what I just did was, the first one where I flattened, I turned my shoulders real flat like that, and you can see behind me on the screen, I missed it high. I tipped my shoulder down, bang, I nailed it. So what you want to feel like is as you go back, this lead shoulder's going down, the trail shoulder's going up, like someone's trying to pull your trail shoulder up over your head. Boom, I nailed it again. Shoulder plane going back fixes so many problems, from being over the top on the downswing to standing up in the backswing. Remember, we don't like to find ourselves bent not horizontal to the horizon. This system we use at the Academy, K-Coach, helps us a bunch show you what happens. Thanks again for tuning in to this 3D technology segment here on the Golf Kingdom. We're excited to have back in the Golf Kingdom my buddy Scott Fawcett from Decade Golf. Now we're talking shotguns and shot patterns today with Scott. That's not exclusive to when you're going hunting. That'll help you with your golf game if you understand it. And we're all about building your golf game in the Golf Kingdom. And Scott, great having you back here. Tell everybody, we're talking shotguns and shot patterns. What does that mean in the game of golf?
Well, it's this idea that I've been talking about for a number of years now, that we've got a shotgun, not a sniper's rifle. And that's the problem. Like when you listen to commentators on TV and they're like, what an amazing shot because he hit it by the hole. You have no idea where he was actually aiming that shot. What you're looking at here is last year's PGA Tour Rookie of the Year, Aaron Wise. We were filming some content for Course Kings, and we had him hit 27 irons in a row that we normalized to no wind. So this is, I mean, I'm not going to say it's as good as it could get, but this is just the reality of his shot patterns. The shot to the left is 22 yards left, and the shot to the right is 12 yards right. So his shot pattern with a 7-iron from 185 yards is 34 yards right, or 34 yards wide, rather.
That's amazing.
And it's unbelievable. And so if you really think about the idea of targeting golf shots, it's simply a matter of variance within your shot pattern. When you go on to the next slide now and you look at distance control, not only do amateurs, with all due respect to amateurs, not really have a good idea of where it's going, but distance control-wise, but PGA Tour players don't either. Everyone is playing for essentially this 80th percentile of their distance shots. So when you have a hole with nothing short, like number 13 here at Riviera, you'll see these professionals coming up short all the time because it's not like you can over-pure a golf shot, but you certainly miss-hit a whole bunch. The image to the right there is Aaron Wise now trying to hit 20 110-yard sand wedges, and as he's trying to hit it 110 yards, he only hit 4 out of 20 actually beyond 110. Now, he hit a whole bunch 107, 8, and 9, which is really impressive. But at the end of the day, you've got this shotgun that has both a width for directional control and a depth for distance control. And then when you're actually going to hit shots close, you have to get both of those things somewhat lucky.
That's amazing when you think about the PGA Tour players struggle with that. And you and I both know from working with amateurs, they'll hit that 7-iron that'll go 170 or 180, and that's their yardage, and they don't understand this shotgun pattern. It's really important that players can see that and understand. You've got to understand where that lays and how it goes. That's awesome stuff, Scott.
Absolutely. Well, and that's where when you take it on out and you look at Cameron Champ, who sat through my seminar twice, and when he won in Jackson last year, here he is on the 13th hole, and you could hear his caddy pretty clearly say, are you committed to a target that's 4 yards left of the hole? He winds up hitting it to 9 feet and making it for birdie. But when you look at laying his shot pattern over that exact hole, the green is 17 yards wide up front. The pin was 4 yards from the right edge, and he was trying to aim it, centering his shot pattern, if you will, 4 yards left of it. He's essentially with a gap wedge going for the dead center of 17 yards is a pretty narrow green. But when you start looking at these images, you do realize that where he happened to hit it in that shot pattern is variance, and that's kind of what you're waiting out for the weeks that you win in golf, which is why nobody wins very often in golf.
And that's amazing to think a tour player like Scott Fawcett is aimed, like a tour player like Cameron Champ is aimed to the right there, and he's trying to hit that shot in there and is just playing to the center of the green. That's where understanding the shotgun pattern is important, and you'll learn more about this if you follow Scott. Jump over to his Twitter, follow him at Scott Fawcett, F-A-W-C-E-T-T, at Twitter. Also, playinglessons.com online. Scott, great having you here on the Golf Kingdom, and you continue to build our players' games and help them understand how to aim and play better. Great seeing you, and thanks for being here again.
Thank you.
It's awesome to have Scott here always, and it's a great opportunity for you here on the Golf Kingdom to learn from a guy who's working with a ton of tour players on their games. So he's just not telling you theory. Remember, he's a truth teller. He's telling you guys exactly what you need to do to play better golf. And that's what we're doing here in the Golf Kingdom. We're building your game. It's time for It's Just Hot Air, brought to you by my buddies at Executive Air. And this is where we talk about myths and misconceptions of the golf swing. And I've got a really good one today, and it's something that I see confused all the time by players. And it's, how much of a divot do I take? Do I need to hit down to do that? What causes a divot? Am I a player that needs to take a divot? It's a big, big mess out there of information, and players don't understand it. Let's start with simple information here. If you're a little bit of a greater vintage in life or a lower swing speed, you don't need to take a divot. You need to be a sweeper of the ball. You don't need to detonate the club into the ground and kill off your speed by just throwing it into the ground. Become a sweeper. Clip it clean and you'll find you'll hit it farther. Now, let's talk about divots. And I'm going to use my Bubba Whips alignment stick here, which are really cool alignment sticks, but I'm going to use this to demonstrate angle of attack and how do we hit down. Let's come to the big wide view here, Daredevil, because I need a bigger look at this. That stick's 90 degrees to the ground. Right now, it's 0, it's parallel. That'd be about 45 degrees. Most people think they hit down about 45 degrees into the ground. Well, an average iron shot, a short iron, you hit down about 6 degrees. You're not hitting down 45 or 22.5 or even 15. You're hitting down about 6, 7 degrees. It's not a lot of downstrike. Now, let's understand the divot and how it happens. It happens because of ball position. I'm going to put my alignment stick here out of the way and grab 2 clubs and show you why that is. I've got a driver and I've got my tailor-made high lofted wedge. So what I've got here is the back ball position with the wedge. It'll sit somewhere towards my left cheek, right there. That club is working down. So when you swing the club, it goes this way, up and down. So when the ball's back, I'll get more of a divot because the club's going down more. With the driver's up towards my left shoulder here. That's going to be rising because it's past the low point. So I don't get any angle of attack with the driver. Simple. It's just hot air. Divots happen because of ball position, not because we chop down into the ball and drivers forward and we sweep it. This has been It's Just Hot Air, brought to you by my buddies at Executive Air. See them for all your heating and cooling needs. Does your golf swing go to infinity and beyond? Are you one of those big overswingers? Well, it's our pop culture segment and we're Toy Story tonight. It's the Buzz Lightyear method to help you fix your backswing. Now, I see a lot of players that come to me and they've been told, turn, 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 turn in the backswing and get your arms back, and the club goes back and it goes back forever. I've got a surefire, hear me, surefire, 100% guaranteed way to fix that every time. You just have to get out and practice it. I'm going to demonstrate the wrong thing you do and then show you the surefire 100% drill to fix it and shorten your swing. Daredevil, come to the wide shot for me here. Let me show you what everybody does. So you've been told, turn, turn, turn. So we overturn our hips, overturn our shoulders, and our arms go back forever. So we get the club way back here. It's way back. I've turned too much the club. I can see it out of the corner of my eye. If you see it out of the corner of your eye, you're a candidate for the Buzz Lightyear drill to stop overswinging. Here's what I want you to do. And everybody tries to stop overswinging, tries the same thing. Okay, so I overswing, so let me try to swing shorter. You're trying to shorten a long swing. I'm going to reverse it on you, and that's why it's a surefire drill. So instead of trying to shorten a long swing, because you can't figure out where it is here anyway, we're going to lengthen a really short swing. Ha! Told you, I've got a surefire way, a creative way to do it. So twist it back, see it out of the corner of your eye, you do that move, you try to shorten it, you still get way up here too far. Let's do it my way and guarantee that you fix this overswing. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to take practice swings and you're going to go back really short right in here where the club's parallel to the ground and swing through and hold your finish. You're going to do it again, really short, through and hold your finish. Now, when you go to hit the ball, you're going to try to go a little bit longer than that short swing. So we go short swinging through. Now we step up to a golf ball, and now you're going to go a little bit longer than that short swing, and that will help you hit a spot that's not so long. You'll actually kind of get in that 3/4 spot you're looking for. So instead of trying to shorten a long swing, lengthen a really, really short one. And I guarantee you, you'll stop overswinging. It's the Buzz Lightyear Toy Story drill. Who would have thought Buzz Lightyear could keep your swing from going to infinity and beyond? But we're helping you do it here at the Golf Kingdom. Well, it's time for another Build It segment, and I've got a great drill for you to help you if you have wobbly legs. So come to the wide screen here, Daredevil. Let me explain. If you go back and this right leg is moving all over the place, you got a little bit of the stanky leg going to the top of your backswing, we're going to calm this leg down. Simple drill, and I've got my Salt Adventure Predator shoes on, we call them, but they're the pressure shoes, and you can see my pressure moving there. Simple drill. You put down a pile of golf balls, and you stand here. Now very carefully, you're going to step on this pile of balls and you're going to swing back. If you do it correctly, you won't move the balls around. If your leg wobbles, you'll get the balls going all over the place. So calmly on there, watch the pressure shoes change. As I go back, I'm going to keep this nice and strong and still, and you can see the pressure shoes get real light on this side, and it gets real dark on the back leg. That trail leg stays nice and dark on that foot at the top. If you have a wandering right leg, like I said, it's a little stanky leg to the top. Do this drill. Put down a pile of balls when you're practicing, set up, swing back, and stay strong in that trail leg, and you find your backswing will feel really solid at the top, and you'll hit better golf shots. It's time to rise. I'm going to share with you something really, really important, not necessarily for golf, but also for life. I'm going to ask you a question tonight. What do the names Desmond Doss and PGA Tour player Jim Furyk have in common? Think about that for a second. Now I'm going to help you out. So Jim Furyk, and here's Jim Furyk's distinctive golf swing. I happened to play behind Jim in his first professional tournament. And standing there with the players, they were all like, check out this guy's golf swing. To me, it kind of looked pretty good. And I tell you what, he hit it pretty good and scored pretty well. And has had a great career on the PGA Tour. But everybody else kind of looked at that funky swing and said, who's this guy? Desmond Doss. Does that name kind of ring a bell? How about the movie Hacksaw Ridge? He was the Congressional Medal of Honor winner from the Battle of Okinawa at Hacksaw Ridge, where he saved 75 lives. And he was kind of overlooked. Both these guys were both judged by kind of how they looked or by what they did. You can never judge a book by its cover. And they judged Jim Furyk and Desmond Doss by their covers. Desmond Doss didn't want to carry a firearm, but you know what? When it came time for him to save the lives of his guys, he was there as the Army medic who saved 75 guys. So my challenge for you is this. It's time to rise. Get out there and be a leader. Don't judge a book by its cover. Find someone who's being judged and lift them up. Help them to be great. Well, thanks for watching our best of show here at the Golf Kingdom. I had a great time going back and looking at some of the really fun stuff I've done to help your game. As always, jump out on social media and share your thoughts on the Golf Kingdom with us. Go to the Golf Kingdom on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Go out there and see all the great things we've got. And as always, visit us at golfkingdomtv.com. Thanks again for watching the Golf Kingdom.
The Golf Kingdom, brought to you by Essentia Insurance, Tailor Made, and Executive Air Conditioning.